What's up and good morning? I am back with another episode of Book Talk with Miss Win. If you're new here, what's up? I am Miss Win, and in this series, we have been talking about the business of book publishing. And so today is another episode. Hey, what's going on? Today is another episode of Book Talk with Miss Win. I am streaming live from YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And so if I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at another screen. But today I am trying something different. I actually want to show you the checklist that I am going to be going into further. So let me go ahead and pull that up here for those of you on Instagram, and then I'll pull it up for those of you on YouTube. If I could find it. I could find the way to pull it up on here, I will. Let me see. Oh, you know what? There it is. Boom. Okay. That actually looks a lot better. What is this doing? Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we're good over there. Let me pull it up for over here for you guys. Bam! This is what we are talking about this morning. We are talking about how to define your target audience as an indie author. Now, if you are new here, welcome to the series. We have been talking about the business of publishing. Most authors pretty much know how to write a book, but if you do not, hit that follow button, subscribe if you're on YouTube, hit that follow button if you're on Instagram, and stay tuned. Check out some of the previous episodes where I've talked about book launch, I've talked about author branding, and I've provided you with some tools and resources to help you get that going. And so definitely check out some of those previous episodes, and then come back and watch this one and then check those out. However you want to do it is good, but make sure that you are getting this information. Like I said, so many authors, writing the book is good, publishing it is a task, but then marketing it, reaching your readers. A lot of times authors, we have no problem with selling books in the first go around, because a lot of times the first go around is from our friends and our family, and then it's like crickets after that until we have another book, and then maybe our friends and our family will purchase our next book. But what about going beyond them? What about going beyond the people in your inner circle? With there being billions of people in the world, why is it that for indie authors, they're lucky to sell only 200 books? What is that about? Well, I think it's because there's not a lot of training out there for authors. Even if you think there is, even if you think, well, this I've been doing, no, there's actually not a lot of training out there for authors, indie authors. And so I made it part of my mission to help prevent publishing pitfalls for indie authors. And one of the ways that I am doing that is through these different YouTube videos, and just a number of ways. You can check out what I'm doing at winpublications.com for just more information about that. Okay, so without further ado, why you are here, let's get into this checklist. There's 13 things. Now, you don't have to screenshot this. All you have to do is download it. The link is in the comments, and I also will put it in the description later for those of you who are interested, or if you are watching the replay, you can get it there. So let's start at the top with creating a buyer persona, creating your ideal reader. Now, if you are an entrepreneur on the side and you are publishing a book, some of these steps should probably be familiar with you already, as they should be a part of your marketing strategy. And if you're like, Aurelia, I'm not even any of those things, I'm not an entrepreneur. Well, actually, if you have self-published a book, or if you're an indie author, you're also an entrepreneur, because your book is your offer, your book is your product. And so that is number 13 on the list, is list what you offer them. Well, we can check that box right now and say one of the things that we offer our target audience, which is readers. Okay, you didn't catch that. Your target audience is going to be someone who reads books, okay, in your genre. Okay, and so a lot of times this list, the point that I was getting at is a lot of times this list is used for entrepreneurial pursuits. And so what I'm doing is I'm telling you how you can take this list and use it for yourself as an author. And so everything on this list is used for business people. In most cases, when running a business, you need to define your target audience. If you've been on any amount of social media, anything like that, you have heard that before. Define your target audience. If you've ever struggled, and shared about your struggle in Facebook groups or wherever, any kind of writers groups, they will say, define your target audience, define your ideal reader. Well, that is what we are going to do today. And understanding, by doing this, you set yourself in a better position to know who it is that you are talking to, especially when it comes to writing. Who is reading your book? When people say, oh, nobody's going to read my book, like, what if nobody's going to read my book? Well, this should help you with that doubt. Create your buyer persona, including, their age, their gender, their reading preferences, their favorite genre. And you're an author. This is something that you can totally sit and imagine and create and brainstorm around. You also can ask a real person who reads the genre in which you write. You can say, hey, what do you like about children's books? What do you like about poetry? What do you like about women authors? Like, whatever the genre is, whatever the category is, you can sit there and actually survey a real person, or you can use your imagination and interview a fake person in maybe the same way that you would a character in your book. And so I'm giving you these details, but I need you to also tap into your strength as a creative person. If you can write a whole book, having these different let me move myself out of the way. Having these different things to do when it comes to defining your ideal reader, defining your target audience as an indie author, you already have one up, right? You already have one up on most entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs are very logical and straight to the point, that kind of thing. And so as an author, you have a leg up on just a lot of people. And so use your imagination when it comes to these things, or do some research. This list is here to guide you, to provide you with some structure, to provide you with some direction and some guidance. And so absolutely use it for that, and use it to help you stay clear from writer's block. Okay, and so the first thing, like I said, you're going to want to do is create the buyer persona. Then you're going to list their needs. What does your ideal reader needs? Pinpoint their specific needs and desires, such as engaging stories, such as relatable characters or educational content. What is it? What do they need? And what do you provide would then be the next thing, right? After that, you're going to want to list their pain points. Identify common frustrations and challenges your readers face. Some of those might be, finding quality books in their preferred genre or discovering new authors, right? If you're a new author, that would be one of the ones that I would go after. Like, okay, discovering new authors. Let me help my readers find me because I am a new author, right? And so that could be one of the pain points that you're targeting. New author, new read, quality book in the poetry book genre or quality book in children's book genre, right? And so list their pain points. Then you're going to want to list their psychographics, understanding their psychological attributes, including their values, their attitudes towards books, and their lifestyle. All of this will help you create content that resonates with your ideal reader. Okay, and then the next thing is list what makes them buy. Why would your ideal reader purchase from you? Identify the key factors that drive your reader to purchase, such as book reviews, book recommendations, cover design, and pricing. So listing these things down will also help you get smarter with the whole publishing process, right? So if you know that they like, this genre has this style of cover, you need to know that. You need to know those things. And so this is going to help you not only, like I said in the beginning, this is not only going to help you in identifying your ideal reader, but it's going to help you with the publishing process. It's going to help you with the writing process. When you know who this book is for, when you know who your book is for, it's just going to help you do so much better. And maybe you're like, oh, I've already published several books and I had no idea about this. Well, now you know. Now you know, and you can do something about it. So don't wait. Now that you've come across this video, start taking action today. Start taking action by downloading this and doing your research, writing it down, documenting it, right? Because we've talked about this before. You cannot remember everything. So write it down, document it. And if you want to challenge me, that's fine. That's on you. You could say, oh, I remember all the things. Cool. You are one in a million. But most of us, we need to write it down. Write it down and document it, because maybe one day, you never know. Maybe one day, or maybe even, maybe you have the resources to get someone to help you. So already being well prepared, already being well equipped with this information, already have done this research, or even taking this checklist and giving it to a virtual assistant and saying, hey, I need you to do the research and I need you to help me define my target audience, help me define my ideal reader. You can give them this checklist and they can help you with that. Okay, so after we list what makes them buy, the next thing is going to be to list features that appeal to them. So for example, a unique plot twist, strong character development, or a compelling writing style would be some things that would appeal to your ideal reader. So make sure, again, I can't say it enough, get this done before your next book. Get this done before your next book. Do this research, do this homework, make it your homework even for this weekend to get this done. So that way you can be on your way to connecting with your reader. Sometimes it's hard to connect to our readers and grow our communities as indie authors because we don't have an idea who it is that we are talking to, right? We might have some sort of an idea, but we don't know all of the details, right? And so these are all of the details. This is the details, baby. This is what you need. And so make sure that you're doing that. Okay, and then the next thing is purchasing priorities. Understand what your readers prioritize when making purchases. Do they prioritize the author's reputation? Do they prioritize the length of the book? Or do they prioritize the availability in multiple formats? Right? And so there's some readers, and I always tell authors, hey, it's good if you have paperback and ebook at least, depending on the genre, depending on the category, right? A lot of times workbooks will not be available as an ebook. Okay, but other genres, other categories, they should be available in paperback and ebook at least, right? The next would be audiobook, right? Okay, and so a lot of authors will make a purchasing priority based on the availability in the multiple formats. And so if you can have your book as a paperback, an ebook, and hardcover, and an audiobook, that looks good. That looks good on you. And I highly recommend that you do that. You don't have to do it all at once. I actually had an author who would put out a new format every couple of weeks. Boom, drop the ebook. Boom, drop the paperback. Then do the hardcover. Then do the audiobook, right? And go and do it like that. And that's a strategy. That's a strategy. And, you know, they are addressing what their target audience wants to see. Just the other day, I released a book and someone asked if it was going to be on audiobook. And I said, well, coming soon. We'll see. Stay tuned, right? And so now I'm like, let me check in with this author and see if they want to do it as an audiobook. People are asking. And so keep those things in mind. The next one is going to be list the brands that they purchase from. And this is important to especially when it comes to distribution, right? So you're going to want to research and note the bookstores, the online retailers, and the platforms readers frequently purchase from to understand their buying habits. Okay. And so that's why, you know, Amazon is always going to be key. I know that for some authors, they just have such a hard time with Amazon. Okay. And even now, a lot of authors are opting to sell their books directly from their website. That is great. But if I was you, I would try and distribute wide. Okay. And meet your readers where they are. I think a lot of times when we are talking about book publishing and when we're talking about being authors, we can get so self-centered that we forget about our readers. It's not just about us. Yes, as an author, we're creatives and we're sensitive about our work, but it's more than just ourselves. It's about the community of readers who will support you and read your stuff. And so you absolutely have to consider them when you are writing, when you are publishing your book. You have to think about them. And if you're watching this right now, you're on your way. You're on your way. You're on your way. This is a good step in the right direction. Defining your target audience, defining your ideal reader is a great step in the right direction of expanding your focus, expanding your thinking beyond yourself and beyond you writing the book, you publishing the book. It's thinking about your readers that's really going to attract them to you. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Okay, so then the next thing will be to list their likes and their dislikes. Analyze what your readers appreciate and what they dislike about these bookstores and platforms to tailor your book marketing strategies. Okay, or even do a little bit of competitive analysis, competition analysis. See what other authors in your genre are doing. Look at other books in your genre and read the reviews and see what people like and see what people don't like. And from there, you'll be able to, have a better marketing strategy and a marketing plan based on that information. It should spark your imagination. It should give you some ideas on what to do. Okay. Then the next thing is to list the media they consume. Determine the types of media your readers engage with, such as book blogs, literary magazines, social media book communities, and book review sites, right? Kirkus Review is a popular one. I know recently they had a sale. Their reviews can be a little pricey. And so that's one, but they're also really well known. And you can include, if you want to, you can include the reviews that you receive from Kirkus Review in your book. And so keep that in mind. And then the next is list their preferred channels and platforms. Identify the communication channels and social media platforms your readers use most often, such as Goodreads, Instagram, or Twitter or TikTok, is where you are going to find your readers. Now, do you have to get on all of these platforms? I would say yeah. But that's just me. But maybe you start on one at a time. Maybe you conquer Instagram, maybe you conquer Twitter, maybe you conquer TikTok, and you just, go from there. And so that has to be a decision that you make for yourself, but listing the preferred channels and the preferred platforms of your readers and understanding where they are helps you position yourself to be found, right? Then the next thing you're going to want to do, the second to last thing that you're going to want to do is to create a day in the life of your readers. Map out a typical day for your readers to understand their reading habits, when they read, and how they discover new books. Understanding these things, again, helps you position yourself in your reader's life. Okay. And if you're someone who believes in manifestation and visualization and that thing, creating a day in the life of your reader and inserting yourself in their lives, in this make-believe story that you can write because you're an author and you are a creative and that's your strength and that's your skill. You certainly can do this. Is going to be that much more powerful and valuable for you to do, especially if you believe in the power of that. And then the last thing is list what you offer them, right? List, clearly articulate, right, the benefits and value of your book. How does it meet their needs? How does it solve their problems? Is it entertaining? Does your book provide an escape for your readers? Or is it knowledge? Are you educating them on something? And write that down, document it, and stick with it. Stick with it, and keep publishing books that do that, or publish another book that is more entertaining, or publish another book that just is so encouraging the reader to use their imagination that it does help them escape from the real world, the everyday world. And so that's it. That's the rundown. I hope you found this to be valuable. I hope that you learned something today. And if so, let me know. Leave a comment, ask any questions, and otherwise I will be back here again tomorrow for another episode of Book Talk with Miss Wynn, where I'm getting you equipped and helping you learn the business of book publishing. All right, until then, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.